Hello, everyone. Welcome to Going 19, episode 26. Today, we're going a little off the beaten path in honor of the passing of Anne Rice. We are covering The Witching Hour, starting with chapters 1 to 5 of part 1, Coming Home. I am Ed. With me are Allie and Amber. Enjoy the show. Okay, Going 19, episode 26, doing The Witching Hour.
Hello.
Hello.
For the first time, we're all together.
Yay!
Yay.
Everybody's real. We're not robots. We're not...
Talk about artificial intelligence.
Yeah, I just watched the new Matrix. I don't know. I'm not sure what I thought of it. So, I don't know. Initial thoughts?
I'm enjoying it. I've expressed this several times off podcast, but it's giving me very similar Stephen King vibes, shall I say. Writing styles.
I feel like I can see the house.
Oh, yeah.
If not the whole block.
Mm-hmm. Oh, should we... Well, I guess it would be in the title, but we're doing, what, chapters 1 through 6? 1 through 5.
Yeah,
sorry.
I don't need to announce that. I do that in the intro.
Yeah, okay.
I mean, we can make it part of the thing.
I don't care. I'm just saying, so they know what section we're referring to.
But part 1, chapters 1 to 5. Coming home.
Yeah.
So...
Yeah, very detailed, very vivid.
Yeah, the house, I don't know. They still live in the house, but it looked like that. It sounded like from the doctor in the beginning, it was going to shit outside.
Well,
Kind of inside too, because they kept mentioning like molding curtains and plaster falling apart,
And the pool was full of gray water.
I guess the only reason why the house had been kept up before was because of like Nancy and like the other sisters who were there. So it's like, why did nobody else have children? They've only had this one.
Get married.
Bunch of spinsters. They might end up on Hoarders here with their cats.
There's not going to be anyone to end up on there.
So
Deirdre won't leave the house. She can't stay there alone, which I guess that's probably coming after this because I feel like people
won't
are going
or
to
can't?
come back. But yes,
Yeah.
there's
It's that whole.
what the fuck happened to Deirdre? Like,
Which time?
why is she an invalid?
Well, so from what I understand,
couldn't tell if they had paid off the doctor to drug her to keep her in a catatonic state. I felt like that's what had happened.
That's kind of
Ultimately,
like, cause he mentions Thorazine, right?
Well-
Isn't that what that does? Like, just kind of chills you out.
the
it's for
impression.
mental patients.
Yeah,
Write that down. I don't have my notebook.
Isn't Thorazine what put Walter something, the lobotomy guy, out of business?
I don't remember. You're talking about from Aaron Mankey?
Yeah, from that way to call him out.
Oh, it's a good show.
Yeah, Dr. Freeman, Walter Freeman.
The name is familiar, but I don't.
Was doing lobotomies, and I think it was Thorazine that, like, when they invented that, he was like, "No, that's not gonna work. I'm still gonna stab
It's
people
like, how
in the
about
head."
you don't cut out the brain? Instead, you do this.
How about you don't take an ice pick and go right up through the nose? No, he went through the eyeball.
But I got the impression that there was more of they were keeping her sedated so that she couldn't use her powers.
It's almost like that's what happened to her. She got a fucking lobotomy.
Well, no, she definitely. So I think she is now
Electroshock, they mentioned.
invalid, quote unquote, because of the electroshock therapy and all of the who knows what she went through in various psych treatments. And I have a feeling. I mean, obviously, don't get the best feeling from Carlotta.
Yeah.
So I have a feeling she has a hand in making sure that Deirdre has no power or
Well, and I think
presence.
it's pretty telling too that she's like the last one left alive, other than Deirdre.
And Rowan, of course.
Yeah. Well, but Rowan's
Nancy died. What was the other one's
picture
name?
The old one was Belle.
Millie?
Millie.
Millie died
Nancy.
too? I don't remember.
I think Millie
There were so
died.
many names I
I
stopped paying
think
attention.
so, yeah.
I was like, I'm not going to remember them all, so I'm not even going to try right now.
Yeah. I will go back and write down names. Because
I'm telling you, you might
going
not have
forget
to.
them.
I would imagine there's probably...
I think,
Oh. That's what you mean.
yeah, I think it's all going to be organized for you at some point.
Oh.
If I remember right.
That'd be nice.
Right? It's the least you could do with all these people.
But apparently Thorazine was originally used as a surgical anesthetic.
Surgical anesthetic.
Yeah, and it can treat mental illness, behavioral disorders, tetanus, blood disorders such as something I can't pronounce, and severe nausea and vomiting.
So it's a pain blocker.
I think it's a blocker.
I think it's more than that. Anyway.
It's like a neurological inhibitor.
Right, they don't want her... Well, yeah, so
Right.
it's kind of both. Like, I guess
They
if
don't want her-
she's coherent, she can use her powers.
Okay, so what does that mean?
My guess is that...
Wait. What do you think that means?
Well, I mean, I think she definitely realizes
some
that she
knowledge,
has
right?
some... I have no idea what the series is about.
Right, but you have some idea.
Yeah, but I don't remember much about Deirdre.
Well, okay.
But I mean, we already know that, like, Carlotta... I mean, I believe when... I think it was Deirdre said that she's the one... We're getting really into it now, but she's the one that was using Lionel to kill Stella. Or is it Antha? Antha, however you pronounce that. That said that, I think.
I don't remember.
Dear just said that to Rita May?
No. It was, I
Who
think
she?
it was Father
she-
Mattingly when he was talking, like, one of the gossiping times.
In the confessional?
At the bar with
Oh, maybe it was when she was talking to him in the
Oh.
confessional. Yeah.
maybe it was that.
I mean, I have the book. I guess I can
Right, is there a way to look that up?
But I just remember
They
her
had a
saying
study
that.
guide online. They were $20 for me to look at it. Like, what?
Like, I fully believe... Oh, and the other hints here and there are, like, as soon as Carlotta became a lawyer so that she could try to find a way to break the legacy. Like, you can tell she's jealous or she wants what this line has.
All right.
So I fully believe...
So Carlotta is Stella's sister?
Yes.
You see it's happening already.
Yes. Stella, Carlotta, Belle, I guess.
So Stella got
Millie, Nancy, Lionel.
the legacy.
That poor mother. So many kids, so many birds.
Mary Beth. That's Mary Beth.
Now, Mary Beth was with Julian.
No,
wasn't she?
Julian was her uncle.
See, here we go.
Yeah.
7 minutes in.
I did write some of that down. Mary Beth's uncle. Mary Beth is Stella's mom. Antha is Deirdre's mom.
Antha, that part I got.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
Stella
got
is Deirdre's
Stella,
mom.
Antha, Deirdre. Carlotta,
Yeah, so
and I keep wanting to say Ellie, not Ellie. The
Millie.
Millie and Nancy are all the same generation,
mm-hmm.
Yeah.
and they're
Or roughly
with
thereabout.
Stella. I don't know if they're Stella's sisters, but they might be cousins or something. But,
Well, they're all Mary Beth's children because...
oh, they are.
Well, at least... I know at least those, like Stella and and Carlotta are because they make a comment about, like...
Them being there.
She says
Like,
something
out of
about, like, she never loved her the way she loved Stella, though. Like...
Oh, yeah, I do remember that. Like Stella was
Well,
the
that's what I was going to say. I think there's some
child.
jealousy there if
That's
they are
what I'm
sisters,
saying.
because Stella got the legacy.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not sure you want the legacy, but there's some good and bad. We'll get into that. But
So far, they've just all died young. Like, they have a baby and then they're dead.
Yeah. They have a baby, they go crazy, or are told that they are going crazy.
well,
They die.
I'm so scared to say. I don't want to give anything away.
I mean, I have predictions, but...
All right. So, what does her powers mean when you hear that?
So, I definitely think that they all have some form of the power in their own right, but it's not necessarily the same power. And I think part of it is either controlling Lasher or being able to use him for their will?
I think it's the other way around.
You think he uses them?
Yeah.
I think he's definitely the father of all
Who
of
do you
them,
think?
which is why it passes in their line.
I'm not sure I agree with that. Who do you think's destroying the rooms every time they get knocked up?
Lasher.
Why do you think he's so pissed?
Because he's not the father. Okay. He should go on
That
Maury.
was my take. He's pissed because they were out with some other guy, and he's like, I think to Rita Mayfair, like, you belong to me, and all that shit, my beloved.
Yeah.
I think he is mad that they're out cavorting with someone else, and is he? Well, he's able to do something because she was all squirming in the bed. Like, is he actually able to, like, manifest to the point that he can?
Oh, they talk about that.
Well, right. He was doing something to Deirdre at school.
Which is why she got kicked out.
Well, many reasons.
Deirdre states she knows he's there when no one... Page 85. Deirdre states that she knows he's there when no one else does, and when she looks at him, other people can see him. And then, quote, anyone can see him when I let him get strong enough. Oh, and then Carlotta is talking this later. She says, in reference to it, the one who can see the man when she's all alone inherits all.
That's what she can see the man.
Yeah. Oh, here it is. Wow, I wish I had read that first. Antha says Carlotta made Lionel kill Stella and helped cover it up. So that was right after page 85.
Well, yeah, for now we're just okay, so
I think Aunt Carl is bad. Bad news bears.
Oh, yeah.
I think...
Well, and obviously Lasher, but that's a whole other issue.
I think Carl is trying to break Lasher's hold.
Yeah, but...
I don't know that makes her bad. I think he's trying to save her family.
By killing Stella?
And Antha? I got that vibe.
Well,
too.
there's a control problem, definitely.
Antha, I wasn't as convinced.
Wait,
as
she killed Stella? What?
She used... Antha says... I guess I should find that quote. That... Court used Lionel to kill Stella because Lionel shot her.
Cortland.
I'm sorry, Carlotta.
There's no Court. There's no David. There's a David.
And say what?
There's a Cortland.
There
He
is
was
a
like
Cortland.
the...
Right, but he doesn't go by
The
Court.
lawyer.
Court's a different universe. Megan.
What are you talking about?
Court. David likes to fly around, hawk-like. Okay.
I think you lost both of us.
I don't know what you're talking about. Oh! Oh.
Mustard?
Was that the friend?
Ketchup.
Or the bird?
Cortland. What do you mean?
I can't remember if... That was his friend, right?
Court. I'm talking about the Dark Tower.
I know.
Court was the instructor.
Instructor. Okay, yeah. I for some
David
reason...
was the hawk.
Yeah, I didn't remember that.
Yeah, that was supposed to be a quick little comment and that turned into a thing.
Well, you just staring at me wasn't going to make me remember it.
Well, it did, didn't it? So he doesn't go by Cortland that I know of. What's my point? I don't think... You said Carl killed Antha?
No. Well,
Well,
I don't know about that.
ultimately, no, but in Rita's section, when she's talking to her husband, he said that she scratched her eyes out first, but it didn't look like a self-inflicted injury.
Yeah, I just read all that. Yeah. All my references are Rita Mae Lonigan.
Yeah.
See, I do think that, like, obviously Lasher, well, not obviously, I think that Lasher is probably ultimately killing these women, but at the same time, I don't know, then what is Carl trying to gain? Because if she wants this curse, like, that's what it seems like she wants, but it's not a good thing. I don't understand. Like, what is she jealous of?
What do you mean? She wants the legacy?
She wants... That's what it seems like.
It's just, I wonder if she's thinking, like, maybe
I don't
if
think
that
she
entire
wants...
line is not able to inherit the power anymore, that it'll transfer to a different line. Maybe she wants the power for herself.
See, the legacy includes Lasher. I'm not sure if she
That's
wants
what
that.
I'm talking... Yeah, that's what I don't
I
understand.
don't think she wants Lasher.
So why kill Stella?
Maybe it's...
To kill Lasher?
Okay. Lionel killed Stella.
By Carl. That's what we're talking about.
Right. But how?
I don't know.
Okay, so we're not there yet.
I haven't found it.
I don't remember. Well, we don't know yet. I'm not going to say stuff like I don't remember. We don't know what Carlotta had to do with Lionel shooting Stella at this point, right?
We
Or
don't
how.
know how.
We know what Antha said, but we don't
think
know
it's
what that means.
conjecture
Yeah.
at this point. Nothing
Right,
has
it could
been
just be the ravings of a 12-year-old about to kill herself. Excuse me. Kill herself.
They can't see your quotes.
Yeah, well, you just did it for him. I think the first part is basically just establishing that there's a mystery man that hangs out with these people.
Well, oh yeah, I also really liked that. I was like, okay, so everybody has their own encounter with Lasher, and everybody also has their own encounter with Aaron Leitner.
That's what I was thinking. At first I was like, Leitner is the only one that's in every chapter. They're like, well, Lasher is too. So it's
Lasher's
more
not.
about...
Not in Rowan's section.
No, he's not.
Oh,
Because she's in California still.
yeah,
So it's just Leitner.
you're right.
Was he in the dudes section?
Mm-hmm.
Michael Curry?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, when he was a kid, remember he played the game with his mom?
Oh, yeah, duh.
Yeah, that's actually a big deal. Was it a game his mom was playing? I don't think so.
Right.
And then I think I noted that too. It was like the one time she does see him is
Yeah,
like
why did she see him?
at the
Church.
concert or whatever. Yeah.
Was he
Like the
like
Christmas service
super
at the church or
powerful
something.
because someone just died or something?
It's strange.
Like I don't get why Deirdre is an invalid. Is it they just
I think it's
she was
all
she was out of control and or Lasher was out of control, so they just comatose her ass.
Well, so if she was seeing this boy and Lasher didn't want her to see this boy and it was causing problems like she was having freakouts or something, and then she's pregnant, so they send her away. I don't know. I don't remember. They do talk about her story.
Lasher's like a 2-year-old immature little brat too, apparently. He's not maturing with age or anything.
Well, I don't think he ages, period, so there's
Well,
not
Maybe he
anything
doesn't,
too
but
mature.
from our view, he's been around for a while. I don't know how that would work. That would get confusing.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know things about that guy too. Actually, look under it. There's part 2.
Yeah. So 2 or 3?
2. 3 is Taltos.
Well, I have all of them now. I just don't know what order they're in.
Yeah. Well, I was gonna say that bookstore. Anyway, kind of forgot I was podcasting there for a second. So yeah, Lasher is like a 2-year-old. He's very inappropriate, and he knows he's got to know he's got to know that the things that he does is getting these women in trouble and what the consequences are going to be, and he does it anyway.
Well, he's definitely grooming them, like especially coming so young. I think
Yeah, that was creepy to think about.
was like that like 6 or something when
Yeah,
she was
like
talking about the first
Ghost
one.
molested at 12 years old.
So they said I was trying to find because Rita gave us her brief history. So after she gave birth, she had a complete breakdown. They took her from Mercy Hospital to the sanitarium, and it was at the sanitarium where all of the treatment started. So, and then it was lights out.
I guess.
Plus all the Thorazine.
And they did mention electroshock at one point, so I guess she's just like, I'm with the doctor. Like,
yeah,
stop giving her some damn medication. He said even you would take a break every now and then just to, I forget what he said, to clean her out to see how it's doing.
I totally forgot
to
about
reevaluate her mental state.
Yeah.
His whole arc too. Like, and I forgot because I was at the beginning where like Lasher, it seems like, is trying to control him to stop giving her the medicine. Yeah.
Yeah, he definitely is. He knocks the needle down twice.
That whole those scenes were very well done. Like, to write a how do you, like, a delusion almost, where a dream of sorts. It was very well.
Well, I think she emphasized it enough, at least for me, to say, okay, there's this guy. Not everybody can see him. Got it.
Yeah.
He can do stuff. I think 3 of the 5 chapters are basically about that.
Well, just how he goes from like doing an action to like remembering talking about something to being like, wait, wasn't I doing something? And then like it was like, wait, did that happen or not? Like, it's just so hazy and
it's way different, can I say, reading all these exclamation points. Stephen King does not do exclamation points. Anne Rice is apparently a big fan.
I haven't noticed a lot.
I haven't either.
I have. Every single one of them. There's been a bunch. Michael does some exclamation point. And Rowan does. So it's just different for me. Yeah, I mean that's basically the first chapter's role. I think just the doctor talking about. Is it the Thorazine that he's given her?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. I think it's a great way to introduce a lot of these characters too, like Deirdre and the house and the aunts and Lasher.
I feel like the doctor is basically just the conduit, which is starting the story off because he doesn't even have a name.
Yeah.
It's like, you're obviously not important. What else is going on here?
Is he?
Yeah, that's a good point. Yeah.
Telling this story,
like,
or
just open it up and get out?
Yes.
Is he telling the story, or is he just remembering how he thought about telling the story?
No, he tells Aaron.
That's what I thought. Yeah, he's talking to Aaron.
I think it's a little
At first he's like, no, not that, not ever. I'm never going to talk about that.
Oh yeah, and then he calls him right.
But then apparently people can't help but talk to Aaron.
Yeah.
Well, and Aaron definitely has to have powers in his own right because everyone's like, it's
he
like he can read my mind.
Yeah.
Yeah, she says that just enough to go, okay, I get it.
Yeah.
You can read minds.
He responds to thoughts that people have.
He, I think, is one of my favorite people ever.
Which, I don't know why, but reading the doctor's section, I imagined him almost kind of looking like Lasher, like younger. And then once people started describing him more, I was like, oh, he's like...
Oh, no, he's like a silver-haired rascal.
Fox?
I don't know what the word is. Person?
George Clooney.
More white than Clooney. And I think he always has, like, elegant suits on. I think she says that at some point.
Three-piece suit.
Yeah. Old style. Oh, no, that's Lasher.
I think it's both
Maybe it's
of
both
them,
of
which
them.
is why I was a little bit confused at the start.
I remember the first time I read this, like, I actually read it with your mom. And, like, I think it was the first section, and, like, all of a sudden there was just this guy there, and then there wasn't this guy there. I was so confused, like, who the fuck is this Lasher guy that keeps showing up and disappearing? And, like, he's like, and she was like, just read it, man.
Yeah.
Damn it.
You'll find out.
Like, I was so confused. I had no idea what was going on. Like, I felt like it was like, disrupting flow. So the neighbor has a Mustang.
Oh my.
That was loud.
Yeah, it sounded like an explosion.
Apparently he spent all his money on the Mustang and didn't leave any for a muffler. Although that would be disconcerting if you, like, if suddenly you went to give her a shot and she was staring right at you.
Yeah, that moment jolted me.
I was like, ooh, she's like, what does that mean?
Well, I was also confused in that section because he kept seeing Lasher, like, written down, and I was like, is Deirdre writing this? And, like, calling Lasher to her? And if so, then obviously she's not an invalid at this point, and if he did stop the drugs, then she could possibly get better.
That's what I'm saying. She was staring at him.
Yeah.
She's not totally gone.
Just every time I picture that, it creeps me out.
Or is like Lasher possessing her? Can he do that? And like making her stare at him?
I mean,
I think that's why it's so interesting so far, is because like you cannot tell who. Well, some people you can tell, but some of these characters you can't tell whose side they're on. Like, if it's good or bad, or like we're saying, if they're keeping her drugged and Lasher's trying to get her free, like, is he the bad guy?
Right.
I feel like right now at this point, you can't tell.
Yeah.
It's very much.
I think they all have a little.
You don't want Deirdre to be an invalid, so you want him to help her. At least that's how I feel.
Yeah. I definitely don't trust him though.
Yeah.
His help seems to have consequences.
Yeah.
Well, they keep calling him the devil. Like, obviously that's not a good thing.
Well, I mean, what else do you call someone who just disappears at will?
A poltergeist.
Well, you know, the God people usually stay invisible and the devil people show up for some reason. But yeah, he's going to put the needle in and he's looking right at him.
Well, also, we haven't talked about the necklace entirely, too. Like, that clearly is tied to Lasher, since it has his name on it, and was found on both Stella and Anta, and it doesn't leave Deirdre's neck.
It was fat. What do you mean? They died with it on? Is that what you mean?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It
But
wasn't like it was mysterious how it got there.
well, okay, but the way that whatever Lonigan describes it is like...
See? Going straight to Rita May.
He had to pry it off of their bodies.
It was like tangled in Stella's hair.
Yeah.
Well,
covered in brain matter.
She was kind of a mess. I like that. So you were there, the doctor remembered. And how to describe it? There was simply no man there. Her she's very visual, like
I'm
like Steve is, but her style is completely different at the same time.
Yeah, we kept saying how much you could picture Stephen King's work like a movie in our heads, and I can definitely get that with this too.
Yeah, same.
Even more so, almost, especially with the background settings and stuff.
Oh yeah, very theatric.
The house has an elevator. That's how you know you got too much money.
Oh yeah, and both Deirdre and Anta's fathers died in a very similar way.
Right. He was mad.
Mm-hmm.
Like, she belongs to me. You will never have her. And it was so. Who had it? Yes, we don't know that yet. Who had it before Stella? Was it Mary Beth?
I think.
Or was it Julia?
They did say that, yeah, that Mary Beth, that's why Carl couldn't have it. Mary Beth gave it to Stella, and Stella gave it to Antha, and Antha gave it to Deirdre.
So Mary Beth had it.
Yeah.
Like how many? Alright, so what happened to her kid's dad? Or dads?
I don't know.
Wait, who was her dad? I think it said.
Why did she have so many kids when nobody else did?
Maybe they're learning. Instead of having 6 and have half of them die, why don't we just start with 2? Then he's staring at Deirdre, and then all of a sudden there's a man on the other side of the bed. Like the doctor caught himself in the act of shouting. He's like, well, no, screaming, to be perfectly frank. Alright, so yeah, I'm kind of over part 1. It's just the doctor
Chapter 1.
Yeah, that too. Years passed. His work in Maine had gone well. Right? Did he move to Lowell, Maine? Look, I even wrote that down. Exclamation points. What if it could come into these very rooms?
Where are you?
I'm on 21. I don't know what that means for you. After the doctor's, like, there's a little page stanza break. Years had passed. Or right before that. I think that's the first break.
You're chapter 1?
Yeah.
Oh, I thought you were moving on.
Well, I was getting there, but then I saw Maine. So I had to mention that out.
Oh, okay.
Oh, yeah. And the doctor's kind of a stalker, too. He's always, like, walking by the house, just staring at people. Like, no wonder Lasher is staring back at him.
Kind of the
Oh,
same
there's
with
his
all
name.
of
The
them.
important, important thing, Larry, is that you rest, his father said. Bam, name drop.
Oh. Well,
So
of course he has a
he's
name,
Dr.
but
Larry.
they just don't really bother to
I like him
tell
even
you
less
that-
with that name. I
Even
gotta
after
say.
that, he's still called a doctor.
Yeah. I like him better when he was just a doctor. Paging Dr. Larry.
I don't think he goes by that house because he's stalking them. I think it's that fear and wanting to confirm and also not wanting to confirm Lasher.
Well, he wasn't strong enough to do anything about it, so he's almost like, okay, she's still alive. And, you know, I didn't do anything to stop what was happening. So I think it's part, like, morbid curiosity and part guilt.
Yeah.
But, like, let it go, man. You get back from Maine, the first place you go is the Rue de whatever it is. Like, these chapters could be called, like, The Doctor, and then Michael, and then Butter Mattingly, and then
Rowan Mayfair.
and then Rowan.
Rita May.
And Rita May. Yeah, it's like person. So 2 moves on to Michael, and
Another character who name drops books. An author.
that's what I was
Yeah.
thinking.
Mhm.
So we got another character who reads like like an author would, which is fine. He's the big oaf who's actually educated.
Rowan Dream Man.
Yeah,
Except he's perpetually drunk at this point.
Well, there's that.
it's interesting. I guess.
Get what you can.
I guess because it's a female perspective. Like, like Michael's a bitch, kind of. Like, he's very whiny.
I don't
and
even mean-
complainy and.
Because of her crush on Michael, but I mean, what she describes is like seeking that like brawny guy who actually is like, you know, intelligent or who has a secret passion for poetry or something like.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But can also be a man when necessary.
Yeah, it's interesting from like the woman's perspective. Like Stephen King doesn't write stuff like that.
Yeah.
You know, he talks about his guys make, you know, his women see stars all night or whatever.
Would have been interesting if they had ever written a book together.
That would have been awesome.
That would have been awesome.
I would have.
Yeah,
I could have.
collab.
I could have like died at the end of the book. They're very different, but the same. So it'd have to be somewhere between Maine and New Orleans, right? Sounds like Harrisburg.
Or Virginia.
All right. So, do we know how Michael got in the water?
I somehow in my head, I don't know why, I thought he was going surfing, and then in Rowan's section it was like he was wearing a trench coat and shoes, and I was like, well, obviously I made that up, and I don't know where I got that from.
He doesn't surf the way we surf, well, which is not at all. And I thought I read that he was floating there for like an hour, right?
Yeah.
I guess we're gonna end up kind of doing Rowan and Michael at the same time. So he was not breathing for. Okay, so how cold is the water in San Francisco? Is it cold enough that he would have been, I guess it is, hypothermic, and he could have actually survived for an hour.
That's what
Yeah.
it said in her section. I mean, whether that's based on fact is questionable, but
What do you think of Rowan? What's going on there?
I was a little bit confused because I couldn't tell. I mean, Grant was. I felt like he was taking advantage of.
Whoa,
her.
that
like,
took a turn real quick, didn't it?
Yeah.
Like, whoa, wait, what?
I couldn't tell if that was sort of reciprocal on her end or not, but that's also just real gross.
I will say that.
By the way, I think he was surfing. Sorry, real quick.
Was he? Did I not make that up?
Just says on page 30, alone at the beach on this dim, cold, colorless afternoon with visions of southern waters, driving with the top down. He didn't turn on the car right as he drove through town. If he had, he would have heard the high tide warnings. He knew Ocean Beach was dangerous. Each year people were washed out, natives as well as tourists. Maybe he'd been thinking a little about it when he went out on the rocks. Okay, maybe he was just standing there. Okay, never mind.
Yeah, that I.
Treacherous
Because I had to go
and
back
slippery.
and reread it too.
Yeah, okay. So he was just standing on the rocks.
In a trench coat.
Yeah.
Not
Okay.
looking like a stalker at all.
Anyway.
Maybe he was surfing when he had the flashback in.
He was thinking of New Orleans. Yeah.
So he got
I don't
washed off the rocks?
Yeah. Anyway, you were talking about Graham and Ellie.
Sure, yeah, well,
I mean,
yeah.
Graham and Rowan. So, but like, so is he, like he was abusing her, right? Is that what they're saying?
Yeah.
The way she phrases it too is confusing.
That's what I was going to tell
Yeah.
you. Anne Rice is very, I don't know, sexually charged. It feels like there's like sexual overtones sometimes. Even I don't think they're supposed to be.
Mm-hmm.
So like this almost feels reciprocal, but I don't. At least I hope it's not supposed to be. But I
Right,
but
well,
I think
yeah.
there might actually be something there. But this might be a bad
Because
example this time. But
She doesn't get mad at him because he's being inappropriate with her. She gets mad because he's about to divorce Ellie,
'Cause
who's
he's
about to
cheating on
die.
Ellie.
Right. And so she saw it, I guess, and what it seems like
Let's
is she's
just
like,
say that he's John Edwards.
or she's like, you can cheat on your wife with me, and that way you don't have to leave the family.
Yeah, which is just weird.
Either
Gross.
way,
I think as we progress, there will be more of that. Now that I'm like reading it again, I think that was a thing.
I mean, honestly,
Keeping the bloodline, something.
Mm.
I don't think it's like Game of Thrones level, but we'll find out. I don't honestly remember.
Well, and he wasn't the cousin. Ellie was,
Right.
right?
he still
right.
raised
And
her.
was she an
Yeah.
adult when
No,
this was
I mean,
happening?
yeah.
That we know of. I mean, we don't know when it
So
started.
you can't call. Well, you still can. Yeah. Never mind.
Uh-huh. And also, yeah, it's still abuse because he raised her. Like, that's...
Derivative.
He adopted her.
Yeah.
He is in all legal manner
Oh, it's
her
abuse
father.
either way. 'Cause, I mean, I don't know when it started.
That's what I mean.
Gross feelings all around.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Don't like him. Glad he's
Yeah, I mean, it's
Don't
like,
say that.
these people swooped in and saved Rowan, and then it's like, just like the next sentence, like, and so then she took him into her bed. Like, huh?
Yeah, wait, what? Excuse me?
Yeah, and the way she words that, well, she took him into her bed, that doesn't sound like she had a problem with it at all.
Yeah.
And that's just, I don't know. Sometimes you wonder if they're like, well, yeah, Graham's just, and I think, I'm on Michael's part, we're talking about,
It's fine.
I was looking for the page, and I'm not on it. She says everyone knew he was, what, a second-rate human being or something like that.
Yeah. like, not a charmer, but, you know.
Right? Not a nice guy. So anyway, back to Michael, I guess.
This part was a little hard to get into with the Irish history and family history, and not Irish, but you know what I mean, just like all of that.
Who cares about them damn Irish? It's, like I said, Michael I don't really connect with. He's whiny for a big, manly guy.
Yeah.
He's very focused on this. I don't know. I guess maybe I would be too. I don't know. He's convinced they gave him a message, but he's not even sure who they are or that they really exist.
It almost sounded like Deirdre, but I also couldn't tell if it was her or his mother or if they were related. Maybe.
In the vision?
Yeah.
Yeah, there was something about like black hair, I think.
Yeah. But like half of them apparently have black hair, except for Rowan. So
Yeah.
They are witches.
it's confusing.
I don't think you can be blonde hair and witch at the same time. Unless you're, what's her name? From American Horror Story.
Sarah Paulson.
The Supreme.
Well, and both of them.
Yeah, the Supreme. The new Supreme.
Jessica Lange and
No.
Sarah Paulson.
No, the new one. The younger one. The one that destroys the world.
Oh, and Billy Lord.
Yeah, I guess they're all blonde. All right,
Yeah.
Theory rejected.
Sabrina was blonde. The witch was blonde.
Yeah, but she was just a teenager, was she? Her cat was black.
One thing Michael said is that everything was so antiseptic in California sometimes. I really like that. I looked it up and it was like another definition is scrupulously clean or pure, especially so as to be bland or characterless.
Septic's what they use in operating rooms.
Yes, I know what it is, but I wanted to know why she used it in this fashion. Because he said everything was so antiseptic in California sometimes.
I remember reading that and I thought that would... I've never been to California, but I thought that would be if I had, that would be a word I would use for California.
Mm-hmm.
Very...
I mean, but San Francisco has a lot of charm like New Orleans does. Like,
I mean, Haight-Ashbury. I don't need to go anywhere.
It's not in the desert.
San Francisco's in the mountains or on the edge? I have no idea. I'm just gonna piss people off if I try to guess. I know it's colder there, so it's like Northern California, which is where Alcatraz is, and that's why the water's all choppy and cold. That's why you don't survive.
Mm-hmm.
Except for the two guys that did, that they never found.
Oh, I never even picked up on this. Michael says, I wrote this quote down because I liked it. He says, never mind that he lived in dread that he might someday have to be a fireman and nothing else, living in a double shotgun cottage. And I'm like, that's exactly the, like, Rowan's type. But she's always talking about how much she loves firemen and policemen. And he's like, I do not want that.
Well, his dad died in the line of duty, so he probably doesn't want anything to do with being a fireman.
I forgot he came from that, too. Yeah. That's funny.
Yeah, because I kept talking about his dad in the past tense. I was like, all right, at some point there's going to be a sentence that says his dad died. So, yeah, it took a while, but it finally showed up. So, I mean, that's interesting. I wonder who did come to him in that vision. I didn't even think about it being Deirdre. I don't even know how to say her damn name.
Deirdre.
D-I-Jury.
Deirdre. Dr. Dre. Just thought of that.
I think Sean was showing me actual pronunciations. I couldn't even figure out what he was saying. There's like Celebrity Jeopardy. I'm not going to say that on here.
Oh, yeah. So he says, it's page 74 for us.
Okay.
Or 73. Yes, go, he whispered. But wouldn't they give him a sign? The others who had come to him when he was dead? Surely they understood he couldn't remember now. They'd help him. The barrier is falling away between the living and dead. Come through. But the woman with the black hair said, remember, you have a choice. But no, I didn't change my mind. I just can't remember. He sat up. The room was dark. Woman with the black hair. What was that around her neck? He had to pack now. Go to the airport. The doorway. The 13th one. I understand.
Wow, there's a lot in there.
Mm-hmm.
So, it had to be a legacy person because they had the necklace on.
Mm-hmm. Remember, you
What
have a choice.
in the fuck do they have to do with Michael?
Well, it's not.
I just thought that he was
coincidence.
half delusional or some mystery, come to the light beings or something that he was seeing.
No.
Like an NDE.
I never thought it was a coincidence that he's from New Orleans.
Oh, for sure not.
Well, no. Well, that's
Plus
true.
seeing Lasher.
Right.
Plus
the house.
Yeah. I feel like he's gonna go back and start like fixing up the house.
Oh, maybe.
Make a good reality show.
Yeah.
What is the 13th door? Sorry.
No idea.
Well, they say that here. I think.
I'm sure.
I think I just read it in Rita Mae's part. Rowan is the 13th witch.
Hmm?
Something like
I
that.
don't remember that.
I don't either.
God damn it.
Spoilers.
I'm pretty, no, I don't think so. I'm pretty sure I just read that. And so, because when it said 13th door, that's how I took it. She's the door.
The house also has a lot of doors.
The door for what? Lasher?
I don't believe we know the answer to that yet.
They're
I know the answer
they say
to it.
it's an unlucky number, so.
Well,
I don't remember reading that.
I don't really want to lead you anywhere.
Yeah.
Once I got into Rowan's part though, and she was like giving him mouth to mouth and stuff, I wondered if like some of her powers transferred to him and her resuscitating him, and maybe that's why he can now see things when he touches objects.
I had never thought about that. That it was a transfer from her. Yeah.
And
Because
maybe
it's like an
that's part of
intuition thing.
Yeah, maybe that's part of the reason why he had the vision in the first place.
Was to what?
Because he was in contact with her.
Yeah, like that's how.
He had
Deirdre
the
was
vision
able
of
to reach
Deirdre
out to
because
him.
of Rowan. Maybe.
Well, that would make sense.
I mean, Rowan, if you haven't.
I feel like she's obviously gonna break her promise. I won't go find my family. I won't go to New Orleans. Well, you have to, or else this book is another 800 pages of nothing.
The fact that you had to say that tells me all I need to know. Right. So let's go back to what do you think is going on with Rowan?
I think she's very lost, and I think she is going to contact Michael, and he's going to help her figure out some shit.
What power does she have?
To kill. But also to something with the mind. Something with health.
I think Michael's alive because she touched him.
Oh.
I think she has the power to cause and cancel death.
That's interesting.
But then why wouldn't she do that for all of her patients?
Because it terrifies her.
Well, but she's
got the three people she thinks she...
diagnostic thing. She's not thinking, I can bring this person back. Like, I am the reason why this person is going to be alive. It's already predestined that they are.
I'm not sure she knows she can do that.
Right, okay.
Well, she obviously knows this, that she can kill.
Well, yeah. Well, she thinks she knows she can kill. She hasn't 100% sure of that just yet.
Fair. Which is why she wants Michael to hold her hand.
Right.
And tell her if she was in fact the one killing or not.
Do you think she thinks that she gave him this power?
No.
No, that's for a thing on her mind.
That's just my conjecture.
If she's trying to, because she can read people, so she wants someone to read her. So, like, who better to read her than herself? Through Michael.
I think Rowan's pretty goddamn scary, powerful.
Yeah.
And
Well, look where she comes from.
I think the whole life-death thing is only part of her.
Well, I think she's also, maybe because she's been shielded from it, like she hasn't been interacting with her family, that
Happened anyway.
Happened anyways, but also it grew unchecked because of that. Because there was no one saying, don't do this, don't do that.
And that, I was thinking about that.
The Lasher wasn't there to influence her.
When she was a baby, someone died. Did she do that?
When she was a
I can't
baby.
remember. Maybe her dad.
It was her mom.
Somebody died when she was born.
We talked about that. Her mom
Wait, who?
fell
Rowan?
out of the window. Oh,
Or
her
Aunt
mom's Deirdre.
Deirdre.
oh, right.
I was gonna say Deirdre, for all we know, is
Deirdre's
still
mom
alive.
fell out the window. The day Rowan was born, like the guy that screwed Deirdre
I
died.
think, yeah, her dad, yeah.
Oh,
I think Lasher killed that guy, but someone else died, like in the vicinity of Rowan, and I remember thinking, did the baby do that? Like, could you
Are
imagine
you
if a
talking
baby?
about the nun?
Maybe.
The way
yeah.
that Rita writes that off is
Oh,
so
yeah. I think
funny.
I am talking about the nun.
Where
She's
she
like, well,
says-
so be it.
Yeah.
that was also kind of strange, but
Smothered in a closed-up room with a gas heater left on. She was
that
like,
kind of made
so
me
be it.
wonder if Rita killed her because she was being mean to Deirdre.
I don't get the
I think
impression that Rita can kill anyone.
Lasher might
I
have been
mean-
in that one. Yeah, I don't
Oh.
know.
Yeah.
That's true.
It's just so funny the way she said it so nonchalant.
There's one, and I can't remember who it is now that I brought
Because
it up.
the nun died way earlier than Deirdre having her baby.
It made me think.
No, well, this is when she's telling the story about. Oh yeah, because she gets sent off to boarding school. Right.
Yeah.
Like, if Rowan has this power, let's just say she's always had this power. When you're a kid, not knowing, imagine how many people she could have just like walked down the street and killed.
Well, it's a good thing she didn't have a bad attitude.
Right. Like, if she was like, "Fuck my life, you suck, fuck you," like, oh, sorry, fuck you, hey.
Well, I don't know what they thought was gonna happen when you send her far away from. It's like it doesn't take the power away from her though.
Well, I thought it was. They were trying to cheat. Cheat is the inheritee of the legacy, and that's what they were trying to get her away from. More, I would say more Lasher than the power. They were hoping, but no guarantees on that. They were trying to break the bond with him, and well, just end. So yeah, Michael's got this weird hand thing going on, and
I feel bad for him, man.
to deal with it,
Yeah.
he gets drunk as piss.
I kind of don't.
This part was kind of
I know.
surreal. Like she almost did a good job of doing it through his eyes, as if he was drunk. Like I felt like I was kind of drunk reading it. The way it kind of was, it was almost like choppy and disconnected, and like his friends were very judgy. I feel like. Well, they tried, but they were like, "Nah, enough of this shit." Like, well, the guy
He
died.
probably. I mean, I would imagine he was obsessively talking about it, like because nobody believed him. If somebody would have just said, "I believe you," he probably would have calmed down a little bit.
The distinct recollection of rising into space and seeing his body out there, tossed on the surf. And then the wonderful things were shown to him. Not that he can remember any of them. That would be kind of torturous, I gotta say. Like, we showed you how to save the world. I forgot. Here's the cure for cancer, don't lose it. Yeah, so he basically just drowns his sorrows because he can't deal. But he's kind of back and forth. Like he goes and tells Dr. Morris how bad he needs to talk to Rowan. And then I think Rowan's like, all right, give him my shit. And then he like never calls her for the longest time because he's too busy being drunk.
Well,
And then he decides again that he wants to talk to her. And then she's like, oh, I don't know if I want to talk to him. He doesn't need me. And she's like, I have ulterior motives, so I don't want to use him. And then she's like, he's a big husky man. I do want to use him.
I very much appreciate. I mean, obviously, because we're in their heads, so it's all. That's all. You know, you're not supposed to constrict or contain your thoughts in your head, I guess, so to speak. So I appreciate the struggles that they all go through.
Yeah.
Like, wanting to do the right thing, not always doing the right thing, definitely not always thinking the right thing, like having to correct your thoughts sometimes. Like, it's just interesting.
I like when I guess Teresa's his now ex-girlfriend, grabs her hand and she's like, I hate him. I don't want to be here. He's always doing attention grabs like this or something. Like she said she was visiting her brother. Like, he knew it was a lie and he didn't care or something. He agreed he was lying.
Yeah.
Nobody wanted to hear him talk about the curtain dropping that separated the living from the dead.
Too bad he didn't have YouTube, man. He could have made a killing.
Right? He could be like one of those conspiracy or Twitch. He'd have a bunch of followers.
Yeah.
I can't believe that's a separate topic. The money there's nuts make on that. Men are stupid. So yeah, then we get like this is a whole history of Michael, and I don't know that I care.
Yeah.
Like he liked music. Now let's talk about that for 20 pages. He named his business Great Expectations because he likes the kittens. So, okay, cool. He's the only one that went to college. I don't. She spends a lot of time trying to validate him, like for Rowan.
Yeah.
And like I don't know. He's almost Susanna for me. I just don't really connect with him. And like I know how this book goes, and I never do really connect with him. And I don't want to say anything until it happens. So I'm not going to, but you'll see why I don't really connect with him. Hold on. Okay, moving on. That's clearly not going to be long enough. So he drowns his sorrows until his dad played chess. I guess the part where we're at is she finally agreed to see him. I think she told him something on the phone in her section, didn't she?
She told Dr. Morris.
She didn't actually talk to him yet, so I guess that's next.
Yeah.
She's gonna stop being. She's gonna be the one that changes him.
She's gonna try.
Yep.
Well, if she doesn't, it's a much shorter book. Like, I'm gonna keep being drunk. You're scary. Like, I didn't even do much highlighting from Michael's part. But I just,
I didn't do any. Now I wish I had.
I feel like we've covered Michael.
Yeah, I'm kind of over it. Let's go over to Father Mattingly and back to Deirdre being an invalid.
I think
all his friends and lovers were Russian American Jews. That was odd. Because he's Irish. Not sure what that meant.
Catholic.
Right. Super Catholic, as the Irish go. Back home, he had left a city of bigots, perhaps, but it was also a city of characters.
I found it.
What are you looking for?
That quote about Lionel, page 91 for us. Let's see. It says, "You heard the shooting, I suppose," he said. "When Lionel Mayfair shot his sister Stella, never spent a day in prison for it. Miss Carlotta fixed all that. So did Mr. Cortland, Julian's son. Between them, those two could have fixed anything. No questions asked here by anyone. But how on earth did they..." Who is he talking to? The nun?
That doesn't make her responsible.
I'm not done. "The insane asylum, of course, and there Lionel took his own life, though no one knows how he did it since he was in a straitjacket." "You don't mean it." Father Lafferty nodded. "Of course I do. And again, no questions asked. Requiem mass, same as always. And then little Anta, she came here, Stella's daughter, you know, crying, screaming, saying it was Miss Carlotta who made Lionel murder her mother. Told to pass her downstairs in the left parlor. I was there. Father Morgan was there. So was Father Graham. We all heard her. Little Anta said she was afraid to go home, afraid of Miss Carlotta. She said Miss Carlotta said to Lionel, 'You're no man if you don't put a stop to what's going on,' and even gave him the .38 caliber pistol to shoot Stella."
So, it's complicated.
Yeah.
And they're all anti-heroes.
Mm-hmm.
Well,
I mean, that does give more theory to the fact that she's trying to stop Lasher.
I think that's exactly what that was.
Yeah.
She's like, but why? Wait, so Lionel and Stella are brother and sister, right?
Yeah, and then remember in Rita's section, there's the whole rumor that they're sleeping together.
Right, is that so? If they're sleeping together, what Carlotta says makes sense.
Yeah.
If they're not,
It still
why
makes
is
sense
it
as
his?
her brother.
It still makes sense, but why is it on him? Why
Be
is
a man. I don't know, because she's manipulative.
Well, right. He's the one she picked.
Yeah.
Yeah, so, yeah, I guess clearly it's creepy to think about, but I guess they're all having ghost sex. I'm assuming he doesn't wait till they're 18.
She wasn't 18 when she was with Rita. She was like 16, I think.
With the flowers.
And the other girl said...
That's what I'm saying. Like, he knows with the flowers that was going to cause a ruckus. He knows by showing up at the boarding school in a fucking bed in the middle of the night, it's going to cause... But he does it anyway. He's like a petulant little kid. Like, I don't care. I want it. I'm going to do what I want to do. Why, if they're so important to him, does he do things that are detrimental to them?
Well, that's part of abuse too. Like, by grooming them early, you're able to. I'm not kidding. Like,
is that what we're calling Lasher now? Yeah.
Abuser. You're able to manipulate them so that even in these situations where clearly he's in the wrong, he can make her still depend and rely on him, and to a degree I'm sure there's some magical control as well, especially with the necklace.
I think his persuasive abilities are not what we would like them to be, that's for sure.
Yeah, well,
but I think
clearly.
They're also pretty damn good.
And also, I still can't get over where they said the one who can see the man when she's all alone inherits all. It's like inherits. So they came from Haiti. I'm like, is this some ancient voodoo curse?
Most people in New Orleans came from Haiti, didn't they? They're all France. They're all French.
Like a deal with the devil.
I mean, they were definitely calling Stella a voodoo queen.
That's true.
Haiti would. Wait, they came from Haiti? You sure?
Yes.
Doesn't that make them a lot less white than I thought they were?
Yeah, I mean, well, what's her name was described as being dark skinned. Was it Mary Beth or?
Must be.
One of
Because she
them.
talks about like the Negro servants and stuff, so I assumed.
I don't remember where I read that.
And the black hair, well, that doesn't matter. The curly locks and stuff imply. Yeah, I don't know that I care. I'm still trying to get out of Michael's section. It was way too long.
We're not in Michael's section.
Well, I'm turning pages now. I'm still trying to turn past it. It keeps going.
Call him the man.
Rowan, yeah, I like the fact that his mom. The only part I liked about Michael was Aaron Leitner and the game him and his mom played. Because they both went directly back to Lasher. Aaron, I kind of want to talk to him. Nobody I've met so far is unable to not talk to him. Maybe that's part of his power.
That's what I was gonna say. Yeah.
Yeah, I bet you it is.
Oh yeah, that's a good point though.
What'd you say?
Rowan doesn't say anything to him.
Oh wow,
She reacts to him and she thinks about talking to him, but she doesn't actually ever say anything. He reacts to her like she is talking.
Yeah.
When she just thinks stuff.
I think because he chuckles about that when he's talking to Rita. And he's like, I have talked to her. Sort of.
Yeah. Well, he can definitely read minds. I like that she can not only, I guess, save people, but then she can touch them and find out if it worked. Like how long they're gonna live. maybe scarier than you're gonna die next week. You're gonna be like, how would you like to touch people and know when they're gonna die?
No. God, could you imagine, like, being married? Like, I mean...
Imagine them two being married. My God. Mr. Hands and Miss You're Gonna Die.
There's no lying between them.
Yeah.
What sex is like in that relationship.
I mean, honestly, if you can both pick up on each other's intuitions, then maybe it's better.
That's a good point. Hopefully they're not thinking about anything else at the time.
Yeah.
I'll leave the oven on. Alright, so Father Mattingly. Again, he's much like the doctor, except he got a name.
He's all so that we can get gossip about the Mayfairs.
Yeah.
She does, yeah, like none of this is from the Mayfair perspective, but it's all about the Mayfairs. It was interesting the way she did that. Except for Rowan, I guess, if that counts. The OG Mayfairs out there in New Orleans. Like, we found out a whole lot of shit about them, and not one of them said anything.
Oh,
Except, go away.
Old Town for you.
Old money, old, I guess they're on one of those plantation houses. Who was I just talking about that with? It was like a something house. And the definition was a big old southern plantation house. Like a slave house.
Antebellum house?
Yeah. Because we saw that somewhere. Maybe it was Lady Antebellum. Didn't they get in trouble for being racist?
That's why they officially changed their name to Lady A.
Oh, did they?
Also,
because of the antebellum part.
Uh-huh.
Maybe we should not talk about it.
There was a singer already going by Lady A, so they're now having some sort of
Lady A1.
I mean, why would you call yourselves that to begin with? You knowing the connotation. Anyway, so they could always go Lady B, right? There's plenty of other letters out there. 25 more is the way I hear it, unless you go Greek. Spanish, I think you have like 31. I remember because the two little L's are an actual letter. And the O with the thing on top of it is a letter.
Just gonna keep
going. So
we've covered a lot of this one too.
Yeah. I like how she says.
Like in talking about one section, you're kind of talking about all of them.
Yeah, we kind of had to. They all kind of,
Right.
and that's actually another cool part. They all kind of tie in together when you're actually, like, I'm trying to talk about Michael and I'm talking about Rowan the whole time.
Yeah.
Thankfully, you do find out how they tie in a little bit more and more as you read more too. Like,
Yeah.
Yeah.
I remember reading the doctor's portion and I was like, where the heck is this going? And then
yeah,
starting reading more and I'm like, oh, okay. Alright,
Yeah,
okay, this keeps starting to make more and more sense.
We'll be able to keep the people straight too. The more we read, like, oh wait, like the more we interact with them. I like how Deirdre is a nice bunch of carrots. I don't really use
a vegetable.
Yeah, I guess that's what that means. But then how the hell could a nice bunch of carrots rise up and break out all the glass in a 12-foot high window?
Weird sentence.
It's not going to go down in the annals of literary history. And then, like, she doesn't say they gave her electroshock.
They
just
do.
said, was it in the book? Well, they say it, but
I just read it. It said, so
Well,
they said.
Was it in the textbooks now that electroshock could wipe clean the entire memory? So they said. That's how you find out they did it.
Well, so even before in the last part that I was reading, they said something like that. It was like the shock treatment. So they said is what wiped her clean. Like there's a lot of this. So they said.
Right.
So I think something else happened. And we're supposed to think it was.
The more he thought about it, Father Manley knew he should go. Even if he did loathe that house and loathe Carl and loathe everything he'd ever known about those people. Well, then what are you doing there? If you hate them all so much, maybe you should stop walking by the house every Tuesday. Whatever it is. Like, you can loathe them just as much. Like I said, he's a stalker. Oh, wait, no, that was the doctor. Father Mattingly, I think,
He stayed away.
Was he actually their parish priest?
At first, remember he used to go to the house and have dinner.
And that was him, not Lafferty or whatever?
Well, maybe both, but no, it was him describing it because somebody made fun of him for being their favorite. And then after he heard the confession from Deirdre, I don't remember if he went back then or not, but he was too afraid because he didn't want her to think that he was breaking the confession by going to the house.
Right. The confession, yeah, them rules are a bitch, aren't they? He was doing everything he could to get them to talk to him without saying a word.
Yeah. And then tells Aaron everything.
People can't help it. You're like, oh, I know, I'm, going to the eternal files of hell for breaking my vows. But, hey, it's Aaron.
He's like, what? Nobody would know this family. He's like, oh, yeah, those are the Mayfairs.
I know. Nobody's never heard of them. They're not. Like I said, Aaron's my favorite. Maybe he's persuading me to. Maybe his power extends beyond the page. Kelly Barker has a book where reading it makes you like possessed or something. It's kind of strange. It was all about a demon. Yeah, so they clearly see a demon had thrived here. He heard child Deirdre whispering in his ear, and he could feel evil as he rested his weight against the iron fence.
The confession is what I'm talking about when I say things like grooming, because she's a child at this point, and she's saying to him, like, I didn't tell the devil to go away when he brought the flowers. I wanted to. I know I should have done it. They're angry at me, blah, blah, blah.
Well,
he cries if I don't look at him or listen to him. I didn't know he'd bring the flowers from the altar. Like, it's just very, like...
childish.
Yeah.
He's a child.
Exactly.
An amazingly powerful child.
He does nice things. When I'm afraid, he comes and sits by me on the bed and he kisses me. He frightens away people who try to hurt me.
Okay, I'll take the one, but not the other. Yeah, Deirdre will be just fine when she learns to tell fantasy from reality. Okay, why does she need to learn that? Isn't that something that just kind of naturally occurs? And why a kid doesn't necessarily need to tell the difference. You can let their imagination run wild.
But also, that's like is that Miss Carl who said that?
What? Yeah.
Like, that's her not seeing the man.
I mean, she's a lawyer, so I'm gonna say she's very pragmatic, very matter of fact. So that's kind of the way she just learn to tell the difference, and you'll be alright.
Yeah.
Stop making you're always making a big deal out of the dead guy that you can see, and no one else can.
I don't know if he's dead or what.
I don't.
It makes it sound like the entire family has seen him, though. Like, they obviously know about him.
Yeah.
Well, I think there's no doubt to his existence as far as they're concerned. I don't know that they all can actually see him. They see the havoc he causes.
Oh, yeah.
They call him the man, but Aunt Carl says he's really the devil. She's the one who says it's a sin, like having dirty thoughts. Like, when he kisses me, it makes me feel chills and things. She says it's filth to look at the man and let him come under the covers. She says he can kill me.
I mean, she's not wrong.
No.
That makes it kind of creepy. Anne Rice used to write smut before she decided to turn it into a vampire. So you can always kind of see that.
I missed this, where he says, she's talking about, my mother saw him all her life, and that's why she died and went to heaven to get away from him. And my mother's mother saw him too, and she was really, really bad. He made her bad, and she died on account of him. So Stella was bad. Really,
Stella,
really bad.
Who's saying she was bad?
Deirdre?
Stella was wild. Wait, what do we know?
My mother's mother saw him too, so that would be Stella.
Mm-hmm.
She was really, really bad. He made her bad, and she died on account of him. But she went to hell, probably. Oh, so this is her hearing it from Aunt Carl, so Stella probably wasn't that bad. I don't know.
It sounded like Stella was just promiscuous in a time when that was not socially acceptable.
Yeah. Yeah, that's definitely the vibe I was getting to. I didn't think she was like evil.
Well, not just. I would say she was. Never mind. We don't really know anything about Stella yet. So.
Yeah. She was probably like, I get the impression that she could have been annoying in school, like kind of like boisterous, like loud mouth, you know, like that's the only vision of her that I've gotten really so far. Just
The one that gets everybody else in trouble.
not necessarily, but more just like the one that gets all the attention that people are jealous of.
Yeah, Stella's fun.
Have you met her? Well,
She
I
got her
guess.
groove back.
Not sure she ever lost it. It was Stella and Lionel are Julian's grandkids. I think he has influence on Stella. But
Wait,
I'm skipping ahead. So other stuff. We'll
That
go back.
could make sense. Because Stella.
Like there was a. Never mind. I'm talking about shit that is further on in the book.
Julian is Mary Beth's uncle.
And at some point they call him Uncle with an O. I remember that because I was like, "What the fuck? Why are you doing that?"
I don't remember what we were just talking about.
Julian being grandparent of Stella. Mary Beth and Julian. Wait, Mary Beth and Julian. I need it.
That would mean that.
family tree.
It's coming. Just bear with it.
Well, it would definitely mean that he slept with
Right
like
up.
Mary Beth and. No, wait, grandfather. I don't know.
Well, I think he did. Mr. Julian and Miss Mary Beth did everything they could to save it. I don't know. Moving on. I don't even remember why I asked that question. So, it was Miss Carlotta who made Lionel murder her mother. Told her pass her downstairs. That's the part you were just saying.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, I feel like we kind of covered most of Father Mattingly, because like,
Oh,
these,
I found the Mary Beth part. So maybe, I don't know what that means. Now, she was a real beauty, Mary Beth. Dark and wild looking. Not delicate like Stella. I don't know if dark means like tan.
it means
Or
Italian.
just, like,
Yeah.
foreboding.
Yeah.
Ooh, dark soul. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe she was just dark complexion. I don't know if it matters. I know
No.
when the movie comes out, there'll probably be all kinds of colors. I wish,
This is
actually,
only
I
movie.
just read a thing, AMC, I read it last night because they were probably tracking me and watching me read my book, has just acquired all the rights to Anne Rice.
Oh.
So Anne Rice's stuff is going to start coming out on AMC.
Cool.
I'm very excited for witch stuff.
I haven't seen any Stephen King stuff that's come out in the last few years, so I should probably catch up. for...
Watch the Stand.
I have not seen the remake of Pet Cemetery yet. That came out.
Well, the
2 years ago?
movies, yeah.
Anyway, Anne Rice.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, I think we're about done, really. Like, everything I've said has kind of been covered.
I think.
We kind of had to misk around chapters. Oh, yeah, this is after the electroshock wiped out her memory card. So let's verify that she did get it. I think my favorite part was kind of Rita May. I liked the way she was...
I liked her. Like, nobody is on Deirdre's side this whole time.
Yeah.
So her admiration and care and. Besides
and that's,
Aaron.
like Father Mattingly's kind of coming from a place of guilt. Rita May just misses her friend and cares about her.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and wants the best for her.
Yeah.
And
So
still tries to help her even after not talking to her for so long.
Yeah. And that's when she says they're going to take my baby. Well, that's a different time. And she tries, contact Aaron. You know, is it weird that... So she did everything she could to get a hold of Aaron Leitner, to the point that they put an ad in the paper for a week. And why didn't he contact her?
He wasn't
How would he have
in
seen
the
it?
States.
We watch and we are always here.
Oh.
He knew. No way he didn't know. It's like the Talamascus whole thing. They know everything. Oh, wait, I'm getting ahead again.
Maybe they couldn't interfere.
I think he definitely chose not to, but I guess the question is why. And why did he, when he did, reach out to her? That was when they were about to take her away again, wasn't it?
Mm-hmm. I was at the funeral for Miss Nancy.
Yeah. Must be.
Because she's sitting there thinking about this business card and the baby and all that. She turns around and he's just like staring at her like, oh.
That's not creepy.
Yeah.
Yeah, how far does this mind reading thing go? Did he like read her mind from England and then hop on a plane? Actually, no, she called, didn't she? Didn't she call the Talamasca? And they were like, oh, he's leaving the hotel now. Wasn't that her?
Called.
He had checked out, but he was in the lobby, and they like grabbed him.
She called the Talamasca. They said that he was in the States. And
He was
gave
in New
her
Orleans.
The hotel name. She called the hotel.
And they said
He just checked out, but he might be in the lobby.
right. So she called the Talamasca. I like the whole idea of the Talamasca too. But I guess we haven't gotten there yet. Someone else is gonna have to lead until you guys catch up. Everything I want to say, I can't say. It's fucked up. Father Lasher, like, kiss your baby, and then took the fucking baby away.
Yeah.
Like, you little. How much money did they give you? Hell, they wrote a check for $4,000 every month for no reason. Like, I need to get into that operation.
So I have to spare some on my way.
So Antha died in 1941. The book was written in 1990. Deirdre's mother was dead in 1941, so Deirdre had to be born in a lot older than I thought she was.
I don't know.
If Antha died in 41, Deirdre was, what, like 8 or 9 years old, or whatever she was. So she was born in 1934.
No, Antho?
Deirdre.
Wait.
The timeline didn't work for me. Antha Marie died in 1941. That was Deirdre's mother.
I thought she was just a baby when her mom died.
Okay, let's say she was a baby.
So she was either born in 40 or 41.
We're now so Deirdre and Rita Mae are now in their 50s. She's that old?
40s or 50s.
I get the impression they were that old. Like, she had a baby and spent 12 years in a wheelchair, and now they're about to take her away again. That's kind of the way I saw it. So she'd be like 30 something. I could be wrong.
Well, it's
I was surprised when they said 1941. I thought that was way too old. But I could be way off.
because Rowan is in her 30s.
I don't think so.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah, I think I remember 28 for some reason.
She's got to be, considering she's
She did a decade
a
residency.
practice surgeon, yeah.
Yeah, so she's got to be in her 30s. Unless she was like Doogie Howser. Yeah, I like Rita Mae's enthusiasm and the way, like, again, all the exclamation points when, like, Deirdre and Rita Mae are trying to save, or she's trying to save her and they're yelling back and forth. And, not yelling,
That
but like,
fight.
save my baby.
Also, when she has to, like, rip the card out,
Weird.
that was
That-
so strange.
Is a woman who's used to getting whatever the hell she wants no matter what.
Yeah.
That's what that told me.
Ugh.
People don't say no to Carl out of Mayfair very often.
Yeah.
I can imagine it doesn't end well.
I'm surprised it did.
I want the fucking gold purse that never empties.
Right. Well, my question was, like, does that mean that the money given out disappears, or does it just keep replenishing?
You know, that's a rabbit hole question.
Or it disappears when they spent it and reappears in the pouch.
Right. Like, that's what I mean. Do they give it out and then it just shows back up? Or is it just constantly being refilled?
Like, if I give it to you, do you have one and now I have one?
Yeah.
Or do I have to wait until you lose it or something, and then I get it back? That doesn't seem like a good plan.
Oh, I also liked what Aaron said. I don't know if he would lie, but why he said he knows the family. Well, I guess it's probably a lie. But whatever, about the painting of Antha.
No, I think he's telling the truth.
Yeah, he says, I've been watching the family for years. I have 2 paintings done by Deirdre's father, Sean Lacey.
I was like, ooh, somebody knows who her dad is.
Yeah.
And maybe it was him. He died the day Rowan was born, right? Something like that.
Probably.
Did Rowan do that by accident?
Well, that's actually what I've been trying to find throughout, like, at least half of this podcast. Because, back to that, you said there wasn't a Cortland, but Cortland was an uncle.
He was a lawyer.
He died.
Yeah, he doesn't go by court. You have to say Cortland every time.
Well, whatever.
He's
But
just
that
selling
in Father Mafferty's section. This is like the 3rd time I found this thing. Her old uncle Cortland Mayfair had stood behind her on that one, and not even Father Lafferty could make her change her mind. Poor old Cortland Mayfair, a fine gentleman, was dead by that time, having taken that awful fall down the stairs. So I couldn't tell if he was standing behind her on Rowan having the Mayfair name, and then, like, was there when she was born, died, and then by the time that she signed the name on the paper, he was dead.
I don't know. You mean like the two are related?
Yeah, like if he,
Like
if
sign a
Lasher
name. Now we don't need him.
or, yeah, I don't know.
Maybe Carlotta did it for all we know. She was apparently not the nicest person in the world either. So. Like he says, sure doesn't look self-inflicted to me, but if you're willing to sign a death certificate on this one, I guess I've done what I can. Right.
Why?
So you're not going to do your job. I'll kill you before I let him have you. So they were definitely doing it. What are you telling me? It was brother and sister going to bed together? Could have been, honey. Could have been. Nobody ever knew the name of Anthony's father. Wait. I know. Deirdre's father was Sean Lacey, not Anthony's father.
Right, so it's definitely not Lionel then. Well, I guess it could have been, but...
We don't know that yet. There's a lot to explore there. This is kind of a rambling, landscapey podcast, because we're out of our comfort zone.
Well, I mean, I think we've covered...
But it all kind of you talk about one and you kind of talk about it all at the same time. It's not very chronological that way. But I mean, I think I'm good. So we got Deirdre, who's an invalid I think because they made her an invalid to quiet Lasher, I guess. And we got Michael, who drowned for an hour till Rowan may or may not have saved his life directly.
Well, she definitely saved his life.
That's why I said directly.
Yeah.
She may have used her power to save his life. I think we're not sure if that's a thing. He came back with powers in his hands.
Deirdre's refusing to leave the house, but there's no one to take care of her except for Carl.
Wait, is Deirdre? I thought Deirdre was an invalid. Is she refusing to leave the house?
They tried to put her away.
Lasher's refusing to leave the house.
Yeah.
Lasher's refusing to let them take her away.
Right.
And yeah, that's pretty much the gist of it so far. Right?
It's a pretty great introduction to a lot of these main characters, like, just to get you started.
Yeah.
Yeah, I feel like I know him a little bit. Like I said, a little too much Michael. I struggled through that. But
Definitely, that was probably my hardest section.
who's next? Oh, back to Michael. Oh, Mrs. Michael and Rowan, I think.
This part I remember from before. I like when they're together.
Yeah, but I like him better when he's
Uh-huh.
So, all right, I guess next we're doing what, 6 to 10? I need
I
it.
was just
Table of contents?
It looks
Right.
like 6 to the end of part 1 is only about like 110 pages.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah. Well, in our books, I don't know what it is for
Right.
you.
Yeah, hey, I'll take it.
274.
Wow, I just opened to it. Check that out.
Yeah, it's not even 110, I don't think.
Well, yeah, then we're shit. Almost should have kept going. Well, I'm glad we didn't because nobody was ready. So then let's do that. It'll be an easy 2 weeks.
Yeah.
I got papers to write now. Shit. So.
Wait, so does that mean... Oh, so this is all of Michael and Rowan, okay. And then we start with the...
This whole second part is Michael and Rowan?
Well, part 2. Is that when the file starts? I would imagine.
Yes. It's right there on like the 3rd page.
Because it's called The Mayfair Witches.
Right. I mean,
Yeah.
we should stop talking about this
I
file
know.
that I do not know whether it exists or not or what you're talking about.
I guess we're not about to find out, but yeah.
I think Aaron gives it away maybe by the end of this one. I'm not sure.
Yeah. Cool.
Because, yeah, anyway. Everybody good?
Yep.
Yep.
Everybody say bye.
Goodbye.
Bye.